Hello and welcome. This is my 3.5, nearly 4 year update on Complete Savings. I've been a member since November 2020, and it was also the first video I ever made for this channel was about this website, was a review of it, and I still get quite a lot of questions about it. So I wanted to do a kind of an update on where I am now, how it's been for 3.5 years, and also I wanted to answer the questions that I get from people on that from that first video as I go along. So I'm going to talk about basically what the site is, the cashback, the sign up bonuses, the monthly bonus, the vouchers, the gift cards, all of it. So we'll go through sort of section by section, and also some people seem to think it's a scam, so I'm going to address that as well. I don't think it's a scam. I think it's great, and just so you know, Complete Savings aren't sponsoring me. Just before we dive into all the details for this, Complete Savings are changing their website soon, so it will probably look different to this. It should be slicker. So the first things first, what is Complete Savings? Complete Savings is a cashback website, but it's slightly different to other cashback websites. So if you've used Top Cashback or Swagbooks, Quidco, things like that, it's similar to, it works the same way, except that you pay for this one. This one has a monthly membership fee. That is the catch, but you get that monthly membership fee back as long as you buy one thing every month, but you do have to claim it back. So that's the kind of catch. We'll come on to that in a second. Essentially, the way it works is, let's say I want to buy something off eBay, because eBay's on here. That's the one I use the most probably. If I want to buy something on eBay, I come here first. Okay, so that's the thing. You come to Complete Savings, you log in, you click on Shop Now. It'll tell you what the kind of restrictions are and stuff like that. You click Shop Now and it'll take you to your eBay. You go through, you buy something. It works on auctions too, so you bid and it registers it. And it's very good at registering it. I've never had it not register something that I'm aware of. I will come on to there are some nuances, so I'll come back to the cashback in a minute. But basically, in a nutshell, that's what it is. There are some other bits and bobs to it, which we'll go on to in a minute. But essentially, it's a cashback website. So twice a month, they pay the money back in. So I had quite a few questions about the sign up and the sign up bonuses and things like that. When I signed up for this website, I signed up after buying railway tickets, like train tickets, on the trainline.com. The only websites I've ever seen it on are eBay, the Trainline, and Argos, but they're three websites that I use fairly regularly. So my guess is that if you use any of the websites that are in their listing, and there's a ton of them, there's absolutely tons of companies that you can use it with. When you go through the checkout, sometimes you'll see just like a little black and white advert. This is how it looks to me, and it says, would you like £20 and 15p cashback just for filling in a form, from this purchase? And you click yes. And I think this is where people get not scammed by them, but I think people sign up for them without realizing what they're signing up for. They just click through, yeah, I'll have 20 quid, yeah, sure. But essentially, you are signing up for a £15 a month membership, which is fine, because if you buy stuff on the internet all the time, then it doesn't matter, because you make it back. We'll go through, if we come to the dashboard. So in 3.5 years, I've made over £1,700 from them. That's what they've paid into my account. I will say I would say the majority of that, at least half of that, was in the first year, because we just moved house and we kept buying stuff. We kept buying furniture and like household appliances and stuff like that. It works for all intents and purposes. It works everywhere except Amazon. So if you're thinking, oh, does it work with the people I use with? Like, literally, not Amazon. That's who it works with. Everybody else. Currys, PC World, all the kind of big, if you're going to buy something big, if you're going to buy a bit of furniture, I don't know if it works with IKEA, but like it works with so many people. Like, I would say everyone can use this, unless you only ever buy, if you never buy stuff online, don't use it. If you only ever buy stuff from Amazon, don't use it. But if you buy stuff from eBay, Argos, Currys, PC World, that thing. Even with takeaway, you can order takeaway on it, stuff like that, with Just Eat and Uber Eats and things like that. So it is pretty good. I would say the only downside is you have to claim the monthly bonus back, and I would say on average maybe twice a year, once or twice a year, I forget to do it. I write on my calendar, and I think I've got like 2-3 days left this month to do it, and I'm going to show you how you do it in a minute. But that's the only downside to it, is you have to claim the money back, and I think that's possibly where they make some of their money, is that people don't always remember to claim it. But I usually do, and I do well out of it. So the next question I got quite a lot was, with the cashback, does the cashback only apply to the company that you sign up with? And the answer to that is no. So the cashback works with basically all their companies. So if we just go to PCs and laptops, like there's loads of companies. There's tons of companies. Like there's companies you've never heard of, but there's some really big ones as well. So essentially, your cashback applies to any company on their list. You just have to come to their website and use it. So it doesn't matter who you sign up with. And I also think that if you can just come to their website and sign up with them, and then I think your first purchase then just counts as your what do you call it? Your sign up bonus. So I think your first purchase would count as your sign up bonus if you signed up without signing in through another company. But it's, so there's no limit on, which companies you can do it. If it's on their website, you can get cashback as long as you follow the rules. So there are some rules for it. Another question I got about the cashback was, there's a monthly bonus. Can you only get the monthly bonus with the company you signed up through? And that's no. You get the monthly bonus through any of the companies, basically. So if I go and buy something at Curry's now, I can use that to claim a monthly bonus. I can go to eBay right now, buy something for 99p, and I can claim my £15 monthly bonus off of. I would probably get about 8p in cashback from that, but that's how it works. So this month I've earned this much in cashback. So I think some of it's been paid out. The only thing I would say about cashback is if you return something, they knock that off the cashback, and sometimes it voids all the cashback. So here you can see basically I didn't even ask for a return on this. I bought something on eBay, and the guy he charged me a lot for postage, and then he was really late with it. And I was okay with it, but and it was a massive box, but he felt bad, so he changed the postage company, and he sent me a refund. So that's flagged it up. So he sent me a refund for that much. The one time when this was a problem, about 18 months ago, I bought a lot of patio flags, and basically I did my patio at the back of the house, and I bought a lot of stuff from Wix, and I bought like £500-600 worth of stuff, probably more, from there. And I used them on here. So Wix, and because I was doing it with my father-in-law, and at the end of the project, we had a few bits and bobs left over, and he was like, "Oh, I'll take them back. I'll get 30 quid for those." And what he didn't realise was, it actually null and voided the whole thing. So I actually got something like £60 or £70 worth of cash back from the purchase. And what happened was I noticed that I wasn't being paid my cash back, and I've been earning it, but I wasn't being paid it. And in the end, I had to email them, and they said, right, this is what happened a few months ago. You got some cash back, we paid it to you, and then it got null and voided. So instead of taking the money off you, we just basically gave you a negative balance, and every time you earned some cash back, we kind of chipped away at the balance. And it actually took 3 or 4 months because it was a big spend, and so it took quite a while. That's the only, I would say, major problem I've had. I felt a bit annoyed about that. I was a bit, because maybe I got £30 back out of probably £700 or £800, whatever it was. It was a huge amount of money, relatively speaking. So I was a bit annoyed about that, and I do go to B&Q more often now, thanks Wix. But as I say, that wasn't Complete Savings' fault, and it's just something to be careful of. That's all I'll say. So in terms of the monthly bonus, I'm actually going to show you how the monthly bonus works now. So I've kind of saved it for the end of the month. So we're going to go to monthly bonus and claim now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to claim my monthly bonus. I'm going to blur some bits of the screen in a minute because it shows my personal details. The system is you have to upload a receipt, and you have to put the order number of the thing you bought and tell them where you bought it, and the receipt and the dates all have to match up. Okay, so this is the monthly bonus claim form, and essentially I've obviously blurred out my details here, but you basically pick the retailer that you bought the thing from, you pick the date, and then you have to go and find the receipt, and you either have to PDF it or take a snapshot of it. The only fiddly bit with this, and I hope they do change this, is that the maximum size for the receipt is 0.5 MB, and what I tend to find is a lot of the receipts you have to faff around with them. If you just go into your email and PDF the receipt, sometimes it comes out at more than 0.5 MB, and basically it doesn't let you upload it. So if you take if you PDF the receipt and then take a screenshot of it, so if you use something like the snipping tool, then that tends to work if you do a JPEG. But that's the only fiddly thing, is the PDFs don't always work. But it's still it's a small problem. It's an easy problem to get around for £15. So that's it. So you take the order number off the email, you take the date off the email, and that's it. So I'm going to click send now, and that's it. It's done. So that's done for the month. So they'll send me an email later on today to say we've received it or we're processing it, and then maybe 2 or 3 days later they'll say yes, you've got it. And in 2 weeks' time they'll put £15 in my account, so they'll transfer me £15. At another time during the month, another day, they will take £15 out. So essentially, this is kind of, you're not really making £15. You're claiming your £15 back, but it essentially makes it makes it free by and large, and so it means that all the cash back you get then is profit. Look at gift cards. Gift cards are pretty good. I've only used it once, I think, but they are actually very good. So if you come to gift cards, essentially you get 20% off some really good gift cards. I think there's a limit of £100, and but they got Argos, and they've got All for One, which covers loads of shops, covers loads of high street shops. But let's say you come in here and you go to the gift card thing. So I'm going to say I want £100 because that's my limit. So it'll only cost me £80 to buy £100, essentially, and that's the maximum. So if I could go through and buy that, and I think it's it's an e-gift card, so it would come as an email. It says usual dispatch. I think I got it the same day. I might have got it the day after last time. But I think I got it within an hour. And then essentially you can then go to Argos and pick up a load of stuff, and then get another 20% off it effectively. It doesn't work. You can't combine it with the cashback. So if I went into here and went into Argos, then it wouldn't give me the cashback. So that's usually one of the deals. So if we go to let's just go to eBay because they're an easy one. If you look at the limits, so if we go, essentially every company that you can use it with has some kind of limit or restriction. So the special terms, so they all have this one, which is basically the cashback and payments exclude taxes, delivery, credit card fees, and yada yada yada. So and redemption of gift cards, returns, exchanges. So they knocked the return money off that one that I showed you earlier, but obviously Wix just knocked everything off it because they're scumbags. So essentially these things are the same for all of them. So you can't use vouchers, anything, So that's the other thing, is some browsers, like my wife uses whatever the new Internet Explorer is called, Edge, and that will actually put voucher codes in for you when you buy things sometimes, or you can click a button and it'll put voucher codes in for you. Don't do that, because essentially if you put a voucher code in and it uses it, these guys don't get their commission, so they don't get their money, which means you don't get your money. So don't use it unless, of course, your vouchers code gets you more than 10%. So eBay's ones, they have some, obviously there's some things to do with auctions and things like that. You're not allowed to use it on certain categories. So buying houses, items sold by charities, a bit of an odd one. I don't know why they do that. Special promotional deals, so if they're already knocking a lot of money off. eBay branded gift cards. Bullion, that is something I used to buy and sell a lot of gold and silver coins. So you have to be careful because some of those are in the bullion category. I mean, I think the reason they do that is because 10% cashback is, like, outside of this website, it's unheard of. All the other cashback companies do like 1% on eBay, maybe like sometimes less than that, sometimes 0.5%. If you look at Quidco, or I think some of them do like 3%, but basically they do next to nothing on most websites, and this they always do 10%. Sometimes it's 12%, and I think they make up for that with, you know, the monthly bonus and other stuff like that. But that's huge. But essentially, you know, gold, you could sit here buying gold all day with it for a 10% discount on gold is phenomenal, because it's, you know, it has to move a couple of percent, and that's a lot of money. So they do restrict certain categories. The other limit with cashback, I think the most money you can make is £250 in 1 month. So I've only ever come close to that 1 month, and I think they actually refused my cashback that month anyway, because I bought about 10 or 15 phones. I went through my hyperfixation that month was iPhones. So basically I decided to try flipping iPhones on eBay and fixing them. So I bought several broken iPhone, like 11s, 12s, 10s, things like that, for anything from 100 to like £300 or £400 each. And I was pretty close to the limit, but I think they flagged it because it was such a massive amount compared to what I normally make on their cashback, and they were like, hang on a minute, you're just supposed to be, you know, if you're buying stuff for yourself, fair enough. You know, if we bought a fridge, I bought a computer for my son, things like that, they're fine with that. You know, that's even if like the computer was £1,000, it was over £1,000, and you know, they were okay with that. But if you're buying things, if they think you're buying things for a business or buying things for, you know, to sell, then they'll flag it up. And then the next thing is vouchers. I haven't really used the vouchers, honestly. The voucher codes, a lot of them are just the same as so it's plus 10% cashback. So, but the vouchers are usually quite particular. So that's my take on complete savings. I think it's really good. I've been using it for ages. You know, most months I remember to claim the money, and even if I don't, I'm still, let's say, over the 3 years, if I've forgotten twice a year, so that's £30 a year. So let's call it, so it'd be like £90. Let's call it £100 for 3.5 years. I'm still quids in. You know, I'm still doing very well out of this company, and I'm really happy with it. So I would say, provided you're organised, and you basically, if you use a calendar and you put things on it and you look at your calendar, whether it's an electronic one or a paper one, you know, if you have that level of organisation just in your life generally, which once upon a time, to be fair, I didn't, then you'll be fine. You won't lose money, and as long as you buy like one thing a month off on the internet that's not from Amazon, then you'll be fine. So I hope you found this video useful. Please drop me any comments. Let me know if I've missed anything.